Should I hire a podcast editor or do it myself? Hello, friend. Thanks for pressing play on this episode of the Brassy Broadcast. I'm Jen Eads. I'm a musician, a student of the creative universe, and a curious girl full of questions. I'm also the head broad in charge at the Brassy Broadcasting Company, where I partner with the creators, the doers, and the makers of this world to put them in the ears, heads, and hearts of new audiences with podcasts and other audio goodness. If you're feeling inspired to learn more about podcasting after listening to this episode, check out the Brassy Broads Brass Tacks Podcasting course. You can find that at brassybroad.com. And should you want even more, if you're digging this series of 30 brass tacks of podcasting wisdom, stay tuned in future episodes to find out how you can get all 30 audio episodes, show notes with links, and how-to videos all in one convenient place so you don't get sucked down various internet rabbit holes while trying to learn about podcasting and accessing all of this info. The question of the day is, should I hire a podcast editor? Now, let's just get my podcast editing bias out there on the table. I edit podcasts. I believe strongly that podcasts should be edited to present you, your show, your guest, your brand, whatever essence of you is being shared. It needs to be presented in the best possible light. In most cases, pressing record and then just tossing a show out into your RSS feed will not present you in the best light. But I want to be authentic. Guess what? You can be authentic and still edit your show and add some audio polish so it really shines in the ears of your listeners. I want to share 4 considerations with you for hiring a podcast editor. This will help you determine if you actually need one or you should do it yourself. The first one is time. Do you have the time to edit your show? The second one is technical skills and know-how. Do you know how to edit and add audio polish to your show? The third consideration, what is it costing you to do it yourself? If you suck at editing and post-production, then it's probably costing you listeners. What is your normal hourly rate for the work that you do? Can you pay someone less than that to edit your show than it would cost you to pay yourself? And the biggest consideration, do you even want to spend this time and effort editing your show? If you dread editing and post-production work and you have the resources, then pay someone else to do it. Consider it an investment in your sanity. So you've decided now that you want a podcast editor. What should you look for? Number 1, skills and experience. Listen to shows they've edited. How does the show sound? Are the volume levels consistent? Does it sound choppy? Are words cut off? Does it sound too heavy on bass or too tinny? Does it hurt your ears? Is it broadcast quality? Could you hear this on the radio? Have an actual conversation with any potential editor. Make sure they understand the vibe and feel of your show. Set expectations for how you want it to sound and determine the scope of work in advance. Check their references. Do they hit their deadlines? Will they follow instructions? Do they communicate and keep you in the loop or make you aware of any issues that have come up with an episode as they're doing their editing? How do you feel when you talk to them? Do they talk down to you and make you feel dumb? Do they do the actual work or do they sub it out? All of these things should be considered when selecting a podcast editor to work with. This podcast is your show. You want to make sure you're always being presented in the best light. So where can you find one of these magical podcasting editors? You can always find recommendations in podcasting groups on Facebook, or ask a friend or colleague that podcasts for a recommendation. airmedia.org also has a talent directory of podcast and radio producers and editors. There are sites to hire freelancers like Fiverr.com and Upwork.com. I've heard mixed reviews on Fiverr, but always check references and work samples to prevent headaches and heartbreak down the road. And did I mention I work in podcast production? You can always email me directly at Jen, Jen, at brassybroad.com with any editing questions. If you found a little nugget of wisdom in this episode, please share it. Hit the little share button on whatever app you're using to devour this audio goodness and send it to a friend. You can text them the link, or you can share it on social media. Just look for the little icon on the app that has the square button with the arrow coming out at the top, or press those 3 dots for more options. You'll find share options there. You can always tweet me at BrassyBroadJen and let me know what you found helpful, or if you have any questions about podcasting. That's all I've got for now. Get out in the world and do some good.